Hi there. I'm Sassy at 60, and I'm glad to have you stop in today. Welcome to my series, Nobody Told Us This. If you're over 50, this video isn't about fixing you. We're going to have some honest conversations about what it's like living life after 50 and maybe even after 60. So stick around. It's about telling the truth, a truth most of us were never prepared for. Because growing older isn't what we were warned about. It's not about the wrinkles or the slower pace or even the changes to our bodies. It's something much quieter and more powerful than all of that extra stuff. Nobody told us that getting older would feel less like losing and more like waking up. Waking up to what actually matters. Waking up to what never did. And realizing how much of our lives we've led on autopilot. Not because we were foolish, but because we were busy. Busy proving ourselves. Busy surviving. Even busy saying yes when maybe we should have said no. Somewhere along the line, most of us were taught that youth was peak. And after that, everything was just downhill. A slow decline. But here's what nobody told us. Clarity doesn't arrive in your 20s. Confidence doesn't fully arrive in your 30s and 40s. For many of us, it arrives now. Getting older doesn't strip you of your value. It strips you of your illusions. You stop chasing approval that you never needed. You stop tolerating conversations that drain you. You stop explaining yourself to people who aren't even listening. And all of that can feel a little uncomfortable at first because it's unfamiliar. But it's also freedom. What surprised me most about growing older wasn't what I lost. It's about what I gained. I gained pattern recognition. I gained emotional resilience. I gained the ability to pause instead of react. And maybe you've noticed this too. You don't need as much noise anymore. That's the part that nobody warned us about. Peace can feel strange when you've lived in urgency for decades. This video is the first in a series called Nobody Told Us This. Because there are so many things about this stage of life that deserve to be talked about honestly, without fears, without cliches, and without pretending we're 25 again. In this series, we're going to talk about identity after 50, relationships that quietly change, letting go without guilt, and how to build a meaningful next chapter on your terms. So let me ask you something. What's one thing you weren't told about getting older that turned out to be true? You don't have to share it publicly if you don't want to, but if you do, someone else reading this might feel less alone. If any of this resonates with you, consider subscribing, not for the algorithms, but because this conversation is just getting started. Next episode, we'll talk about something many people feel, but very few say out loud. I'll see you there.